have Alexa Roy from StackMap who will be joining us. Alexa, can you hear me properly over the phone?
I can hear you.
Excellent. And it sounds like our audio is good on our end, so if you're ready to present your screen, feel free and I'll hand it over to you at this point.
Wonderful. Awesome. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Excellent. So hi, everybody. I'm Alexa. I work for StackMap. I am also a librarian. That's actually how I got involved in StackMap, being very enthusiastic about user experience at my past libraries. So I absolutely love these meetings with all of you. I'm very excited to be able to show you StackMap, which is an indoor mapping web application. What we do is we map your collections, and then we throw these maps into your catalog so that when people search the catalog, they'll be able to find their items using floor maps and also directions. Some exciting stuff coming up. This will kick off a discount. So we're offering Stelco Libraries a 25% discount with a commitment by January 31st, 2017. And then over the next year, we'll continue a discount of 20% for a little while and then 15% for a little while. I'll send you all of that, though, after this so that you'll be able to review it. Now, from what I'm looking at, it looks as though many of you use CRC catalogs. Is that correct?
Correct. We're all in the same catalog together.
All right. That's what I thought. Great. I was just looking earlier, and I was like, awesome. Seriously, we've got plenty of those examples. So the first thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you a StackMap library that is using a CRC catalog. What's great about this is you'll be able to see a library that's using it in a shared catalog while others in the shared catalog don't use it. So you can see that not everybody needs to buy in. The bigger ones can buy in. The smaller ones, if you feel the need for StackMap early on, can absolutely hold off, and it looks fine. So you'll be able to see all of that in the catalog. After that, I'll be showing you the dashboard, which is where you're able to take control of the mapping of your collections. And then last, I'll give you a little sneak preview of computer availability mapping, which is one of our other products. So does everybody still hear me all right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Wonderful. Awesome. If I'm ever going too fast, somebody tell me slow down. So jumping into St. Charles Public Library, they're in Illinois, and I believe they may have been one of our first CRC catalogs. Oh, are we friends with St. Charles?
We have a St. Charles in Minnesota as well, who's also here in this room.
Oh, not quite the same one, but pretty close. They have a really groovy looking catalog, I have to say. So I really like using theirs as an example. So the first thing I'm going to do is everybody's favorite test search of Harry Potter. When I search their catalog for Harry Potter, I get the normal results that you would be anticipating. Now, as I scroll through, though, you'll notice that the ones that are at the St. Charles location have these Map It buttons. So the other ones that don't have StackMap, it's just blank next to. As you can see, it looks totally fine. All the St. Charles items that are available have the Map It button. The ones that are checked out do not have the Map It button. That's something that we can do for anybody that would like. I highly suggest it. It's kind of an extra level of this item is checked out and now you can't find it. So it helps on a different level of figuring out if the book is in or not, because we all know that our users aren't always looking at all of the different factors going into our brief records. So here it is right in the brief record. The patron will look at it, see the call number, and say, where is that? I have no idea. So then I'll go to Map It. Before I show you this map, so I'm going to close it out, the Map It button can be customized. As you can see, we made it match the rest of their CRC catalog. We'll do this for you as well. We want your Map It button to look nice in your catalog. We want you to like it. We can make it bright red if you want, any color you would like. We can also change the text on it. If you wanted it to say find it or locate it on a map, or if you just wanted a pin, any of those things work. We can customize it to suit your needs and then match your library's colors. So when I click Map It, what I get is a floor plan of the floor that that item is on. So that item is on their lower level. There's a pin on the range where it is, and then also directions right down to the row you can have. They have a somewhat simpler floor plan on this level, so they don't have their directions down to the row. Their directions are just, proceed to the lower level. But depending on the type of language that you want to put into the dashboard, I suggest putting directions, and you can do it right down to proceed to the lower level, turn the corner, and go to row 15 if you have, numbered rows. However you would like, it's highly customizable. And these floor plans, I'll show you how they're made. All we need is something simple from you, and I'll get into that when we jump into the dashboard. Let's see, anything else we want to mention about this map? It's a great map, and do you have any questions about the user interface or how it looks in the catalog?
I think you're good, Alexa.
Awesome. I'm going to jump right into the dashboard. Any questions that you think you might have right now will most likely get answered when we jump into the dashboard.
Oh, 1 second, Alexa. Just for everyone in the
Sure.
room. 1 second. Just for everyone in the room, we're recording the audio from the phones for this part of the meeting, so you don't need to worry about miking or repeating questions. Okay, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Oh, not to worry. So anybody who has StackMap gets this dashboard. This dashboard is a really helpful tool for taking control of the integration. And this is nice because whenever you have a change, you don't have to, call in or anything. It's very easy to change anything because we know that weeding happens, moving of collections happen. And that's actually one of the advantages of this dashboard. It allows you to kind of plan collection moves, which was something that has been done with the dashboard. It wasn't the original intent, but it's a smart way to use it. First thing I'm going to talk about is how does an integration happen? How do we implement at a library? First thing that we do is we would ask the library to provide us with a very simple floor plan. All we need is the shape of the floor, essentially. Shape of the floor, some other details that you may want on it. So you might want to say that this is the children's room, this is the paperback section, or this is the adult services section, this is our maker lab. Those types of things. From there, after we discuss with you, look at some architectural drawings or emergency escape plans, whatever you provide for us, we can absolutely use. From here, we make a map. This is an extremely detailed map. I tend to like a more simpler map like the St. Charles one, but this is a good display of all of the types of things that we can put on your map. We can do restrooms. We can put where your tech support is, where your information desk is. Any of those things can absolutely go on your map. But this is a conversation that our project manager would have with you and figure out what you wanted to show on there. So then we end up with these empty maps, no collections on them yet. These maps get uploaded to the dashboard. And then this is where you can name your floors and also add directions to get to that floor. If there aren't any questions about the floors, I'm going to jump right into putting the book ranges on the floors.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, awesome. You guys are obviously super getting this and really into it. So jumping into the ranges. The second part of setting up your dashboard is we would set up a webinar with any of the staff that wants to be able to take control of this mapping. And we would bring them into this area with our project manager with a webinar kind of like this so that we can show you exactly how this works. So I'm going to show you how to place ranges on the floor plan. And we have an excellent project manager. She is also a librarian. So she's well-versed in collections, and it's really wonderful to have a crew like that. So it really helps in the integration process. So as you can see right here, I have a lot of ranges. This is a very collection-heavy floor. In order to add these, this only took about 9 steps because these are all added in one shot. I'm going to show you how to add another set of 20 ranges. All you do is you go up here, add 20, click add, populates in the corner. From here, it's kind of like Publisher in that you move and drag and drop. and then you would put them onto the floor as they would be in your library. And you know your library's bird's eye view. This is done pretty simply. From there, just throw these on here as the floor is set up. Another thing that you'll notice about this is really helpful for planning a collection move, because if you're planning on doing an entire spatial move, for example, switching the book group collection and the Maker Lab to different places across the floors, a good way to figure out if something works, let's say the Maker Lab was here, and your book group collection is here, and you want to move this here. You can drag and drop it. And then, so I'm dragging and dropping this, and it gives me a really good idea that I'm going to have to probably weed about 25% for this to work well, or I'm going to want to move about 8 ranges somewhere else. So it's a really great way to also figure out how you're going to set up your library if you're doing some motion. At any time, the ranges can be updated to have less shelving or more shelving very easily using the delete selected range or add ranges to the certain one. Add range to this group is how you would add more ranges to one area. Are there any questions about placing ranges on the map?
No, go ahead.
Wonderful, awesome. Excuse me. Next up, call numbers. Now this is how we figure out where all of your items are. The way the call numbers are collected is actually very simple using an Excel spreadsheet. It's always incredible to a lot of people that it's a much easier process than you would expect. What you do is you would load each floor. There's one spreadsheet for each floor. That spreadsheet you download from here. And then you just send your fastest staff member who can run really fast through your stack, and they'll collect first and last call number of each range. Using first and last call number, we're then able to determine, based on sequencing, what is in between that. And so using 3 pieces of information, which would be location, first call number, and last call number, we can determine where things are in your library in order to put the map it buttons into your catalog next to the call number. If there's ever any weeding, which that's inevitable, it's going to happen, very easy to update. You would just download the spreadsheet right from here where they're hosted and saved, and you can just walk around your library using that spreadsheet and update that way. You could even do it right in the computer if you would like. There's also another way of editing the call numbers on your map, which is in the single editor. Not everybody is comfortable with Excel, and so we've made this environment so that people can do a lot of things with it in many different ways, depending on the comfort level of the user. And so in the single editor, what you can do is you can load a floor, and you can actually just, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You can go right down to the range, select the range, update starting call number, ending call number, and the location right here and click save. So that's another way to do it. You could even do your whole library that way if you really wanted to. The spreadsheet is probably a lot faster, but there is this method for anybody that doesn't want to use the Excel spreadsheet. This, in turn, gets transcribed to an Excel spreadsheet automatically. And so you will still have that spreadsheet for anybody that wants to use that, and it will be constantly saving based on edits in here. You probably noticed this is an example of somebody with Library of Congress. We can handle any type of call number. We do Library of Congress, 3 call numbers, author's last name. We've done a lot of funky call numbers in public libraries with, board books and picture books in the children's room. So not to worry, there are a lot of different things that we can handle, especially original cataloging call numbers. When an entire floor is all uploaded with the call numbers, you can print range signs. This is one of the coolest features. It's a really simple feature, but it's really great because you know that we all forget to do that. We all forget to update our end cap signs. And then when our users are going to the shelves, they're like, well, I couldn't find it because the end cap sign wasn't up to date. You'll never have this problem with this because each time you do the floor, you can just print the entire floor. We can customize these, so we can make them the colors that you like at your library, whatever matches your style guide, match the font. We can also throw in a logo. whatever you would like on there. And then we can adjust these to fit side cap frames if you have them. If you ever just adjust a few shelving units, not to worry, you don't have to waste paper. You can just select one and print that particular range sign as well. Are there any questions about call numbers?
Alexa, how would it work if a library just used a certain genre, like outdoors, for a section of their shelves? Would that work?
Sure. So the way that would work is what you would do, let's say this whole section was outdoors. Are those books in order in any way within outdoors?
I presume by author. I just know I set it up for a location. I don't know how they do it on their shelves themselves.
Okay. So let's presume that it's by author within outdoors. The way it would work is in the Excel spreadsheet, let's pretend this is the entire outdoors section. Under location, it would say outdoors. And then in the range, you would have author's last name, let's say Atwood through Carlson. And then that's how it would recognize where things were. It would just, be based on how it actually was on the shelf, and that would be able to be handled no problem. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Wonderful. And our script can handle, going so far into an author's last name. You can customize 4 characters, 6 characters, whatever you would like. That's how it recognizes call numbers. Any other questions about call numbers?
No, don't think so. Thank you.
Smart bunch. All right, let's jump into the advanced features. So these are a couple things that are in your dashboard, and they're just really helpful during the process. They really don't have any part in the integration, but they're good for checking things. So something that you can do is, as you're doing the integration, feel free to search for a call number at any time. I know we all like to make sure things are working while it's happening. And I assure you it's working, but it's always nice to feel good about it. So you can search that call number and make sure it's displaying how you want it on your map. You can do that at any time. If you're ever doing any troubleshooting or you did a big move, feel free to test out some call numbers using this feature. Something else that you can do is call number errors. And we find that this is extremely helpful in both public and academic library settings. Because when you have different types of call numbers within a library, this will pick out if you ever have 2 different types of call numbers in the same range, it'll let you know just in case it was a mistake. There are many times, because we're cramped in our shelving, that we have them right next to each other, in which case it's fine and you would just leave it as is. But it'll pick out little discrepancies in your ranges. So for example, it's picking out that something was left empty here. But it can also let you know if there are incorrect styles of call numbers. Also, if you put your first call number in the last box and the last one in the first, it'll let you know they're out of order. So that's really helpful because human error happens when you're putting something into an Excel spreadsheet, and this will allow you to fix it before somebody, goes into the catalog, hits the map it button, and says, "What happened?" So this helps you fix it right here. Click the Fix button here, and then it brings you right to the Excel spreadsheet where it can be adjusted very easily. Any questions about the advanced features?
No, thank you.
Wonderful. As soon as a setup is done, the way that it integrates into the catalog is our engineer will speak with your systems librarian, who will then just take about 3 to 6 lines of script that our engineer will create, special for your library system or your specific library, and that will get copied and pasted into the front-end code of your catalog, and then it is immediately all up and running. So it's actually a very simple integration process. Any questions at all about the dashboard?
I think we're good. Thank you.
Wonderful. Do we have any questions at all about book mapping? Now that we've seen everything.
No,
Oh, awesome. One other thing I'm going to show you is the computer availability mapping. So for those of you who have Maker Labs, this is relevant, as well as computer labs, which I'm going to say all of you have. What we can do is we can also map the availability of any of your computers. And then these maps can also be hosted on the website. And the way that works is all of your computers are probably on different systems, and we can tell if so all of the green ones are available. As you can see at Florida State University, students aren't using the computers today for whatever reason. Oh, we know why. It's the morning after Halloween. They haven't gotten up yet. So we have all these green available computers. There's one good student that got in today and is using a computer, evidently. So the red ones are unavailable. The green ones are available. These are helpful because then people can see from home if your computer lab is jamming right now and if they're going to be able to get a computer. You can also put these on digital displays. So as your patrons are walking into the library, they can see on a digital display how the computer labs are doing right now. Or if you have computer labs on different levels, they can figure out which level that they should go to for a better chance at getting a computer. Because as you can see, we have the computers on multiple levels mapped here. So green is good, red's not available. Also, another thing that we do is we're able to put the operating system on the map. So somebody that's looking at this from the browser can hover over it and figure out if their favorite computer is available, because we all know that there are some patrons that have their favorite computer. And so they can figure out if that one's available. Also, specialty software, we can let them know if that computer that has Final Cut Express is available. Or in a lot of the Maker Labs, you could figure out if the 3D printer was available, or figure out if the computer with Photoshop is available. All things that people definitely want to know, before they show up with all of their materials. We can figure out your availability based on your login or logout credentials if you have that. The other thing we can do is if you don't have a login or logout, we can do it based on the idle states of the computer. So if the computer goes idle after 5 minutes or so, we can put it back to available. And the way this works is we push script out to each of your computers, and the way it hits our API is if somebody signs in or starts using the computer, an event is triggered that hits our API and therefore changes the color on the map. And that is computer availability. The setup on the map is exactly like the book mapping dashboard. There's a dashboard for it as well. So it looks like we've got about 8 minutes left, and I definitely want to allow you to ask any questions that you have in the next 8 minutes. Any questions that we're not able to fit in, I'm going to encourage you all to email me. My email address is alexa@stackmap.com. That would be ALEXA at StackMap right here, .com. So you are absolutely welcome to email me. I'm going to send a review of this entire presentation as well with all of the examples that we used to Tyler, along with your consortial discount so that that can be sent out to everybody. But at this time, I want to open up for questions.
Do you have anything else for us, Alexa?
That's what I've got for you today.
Awesome. Well, I think we're good at this time.
Are you all excited about book mapping?
It's fascinating. I didn't know you did the PC thing. That's not something I was expecting.
Yeah, it's something we've done for a while. We actually created it for Florida State University. We were doing their book mapping, and they got in contact with us, and they said, we have an issue with our user experience, because that's, our thing, user experience. And they said, we have a hard time with students getting upset over not finding available computers. And they were like, if you can map our books, do you think you could map our computers with their availability? And our engineers got together and said, sure, let's do that. And so that was made. And actually, just a few weeks ago, we made an analytics tool, which I'm really glad is up here. I just noticed it's up to date in here. So we can also show some of the information that you need to know about your computers, a lot of the information that you need to report to the state. Anything like that, you can let us know, and we can make custom analytics for your library.
Awesome.
So that is really good data to know, because I think a lot of, I know that at my last library, the trend was we were trying to figure out what OS a lot of the users were using. And this is a great way to figure that out. And then you can adjust your computer lab to suit the needs of your patrons. Or also, get the software that they're using, because then you can figure out, we've got a lot of people using that computer, I wonder why. It's because that computer is Photoshop, things of that nature.
Okay.
And it's very discounted when you bundle it with the book mapping. That's the other thing.
Awesome. Well, thank you. If you send along that information to me, I'll make sure to forward it out to this group and post it on our website as well with this meeting's materials.
Wonderful. Have an awesome rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for having me, and I will hopefully hear from you.
Okay. Goodbye, Alexa.
All right. Bye.